Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. I really appreciate you taking time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciated, so thank you in advance. Now, today's episode is a continuation of a series we covered before, so let's get straight into it. This is No Kuni 2. If you haven't watched the No Kuni video, I invite you to do so. Obviously, I want you to check it out because I think it's cool, but also it'll kind of give you a basis of why I enjoy this series, and I hope we get another entry in it. So for No Kuni 2, the starting story is kind of wild, right? You start off playing Roland, and for in all intents and purposes is the president of whatever country. It seems to be like America, but not 100%. You know, you don't want to have some issues going on, but you know, you get transported back to this world that we visited before, and you are now assisting young Evan, who was the Prince of Ding Dong Dell, which is like the first town you go to in the original No Kuni. And he is basically being, it's a coup, right? They're trying to take over the castle. They killed his dad, and, you know, you get started. Trust me, this isn't spoilers. This is literally the prologue for the game, which is, you know, why this is crazy. So, you know, you do that, and then once you get through basically the tutorial of the game, they have you take control of Evan, and now the game is about trying to restore, or matter of fact, create a new kingdom that is like, you know, the best kingdom, you know, doing the things that basically making the right choices when everybody else is making choices based on selfish gains. And that essentially is the story. This one is different than the first No Kuni. The first No Kuni was almost like a Pokemon type of RPG where you had these, you could still do moves yourself, but you had these familiars that you would use that were essentially like Pokemon, where you leveled them up and, you know, grow closer to them and they evolve and things like that. This one is more of an action RPG where you have, you know, you're using your abilities. Now they do still have some sort of familiar system with the Higgle D's, which I thought was really cool. So they'll help you out in battle, and, you know, having different varieties of them, and you can collect them, and there's a whole bunch of aspects to it. The biggest thing with this game is they just made, I still feel like the first game has a better story overall, while this story is really, really, really good. But I felt like the second game improved in all of the gameplay aspects. Like, I'm not a big town manager, city builder person. Like, I'll do it, and, you know, I'm not very creative when it comes to those things. I'm like, all right, you know, this should be here, this should be there. But this game allowed me to do, you know, some city building in a way that I thought was very creative and not too boring and tedious. You know, as all games, they can get kind of fetch questy, but overall it was still a really, really good added gameplay layer, added to the fact that they also have this RTS mode, which again is something I'm not necessarily good at. But, you know, if it's in the game and I feel like I can have a decent handle on it, I will definitely do it. So you have all of these different aspects of gameplay that you're doing. You're going from place to place, you know, basically establishing yourself as the worthy king by completing certain tasks and also doing the right thing as young Evan is. You know, Evan, while not as, I won't say as good a protagonist as Ollie, because Oliver was fantastic, but that's also because of the writing. Evan is a really good character, and also, like, I feel like when the game came out, you know, they were basically, people were looking at it like they were trying to recreate the Oliver character, and it's not. It's just a different young lad, and I think that's kind of the theme here. You play some young boy trying to accomplish a goal that's usually for, you know, the right reason, at least in the past few games. So maybe with the next one, I don't know, they create even more layer and it gets kind of crazy, but that's just me rambling. Overall, I just really enjoyed this story. And also, this is a game that was really important because I was playing this game when I was in the Philippines for about 6 months. And it was, you know, I had to download the game digitally, and it took a couple of days because my access to the internet wasn't that great. But this was a really, really, really great experience. And, you know, I connected with that memory, so it means a little more to me. If you are looking for something, again, you like story-based games, or even if you're not the biggest story-based game fan and you want something outside of the box, if you are a fan of like really cool animated looking things and, you know, in video game form, because again, their art style is basically, it's Studio Ghibli, so it's like, look at it, you know, if you like those type of movies, then you would definitely love this game because it still has that same feel to it. It's just you're playing it. Either way, I appreciate you letting me reminisce with you. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Peace.